So we often divide ourselves up conceptually into mind, heart, belly. But perhaps you discovered, at least for a moment, that when you go in, you cannot find a location called mind or a location called heart or belly. Perhaps you find that it's an ever undulating tapestry of energy, undivided. One being, one beingness. What if we could operate, function in life from that wholeness, from the wholeness of being? The deeper you go in, you discover space. You discover spaciousness. What if you could allow the body and the self, the whole personhood, to operate from that spaciousness? It's not just a mental spaciousness. It's the whole being, the whole organism. What if you could do yoga or whatever practice from that inner spaciousness? What if movement took place from that rather than from the outside in, from the inside out? There would be a natural grace, a natural flow, a natural aliveness. We're trained to function from the outside in, to make the body perform certain movements. You can apply this to movement practices. You can apply this to eating. We eat from the outside in usually. What if you could eat from the inside out? It would be a communion. Yeah, we're speaking of a communion of beingness with form, with activity, with function, so that form and formless are not too divided. There's no division between the two. Well, there isn't anyway, only in the conceptual mind. So it's like a little shift in perception, a little shift in where you stand within yourself, if you like. It brings a permeability to the human experience, to the personhood. Instead of a me-self, a solid me-self, with its fixed mind and defended heart and tight belly, stomping through life, trying to get what it wants, whether it's food or relationship or success or safety or some kind of nourishment. Trying to be aware but that's trying to be mindful. What if there was the perception and lived visceral experience that this that appears as a body, as a person, as a individuated experience is appearing within the wide open field, which is no different seemingly inside or outside. So there's no inside or outside. It's like the boundary, the perceptual boundary softens. It's one seamless whole, one intelligent field. There's a kind of harmony that takes place between you and life, so that you are life. Life isn't happening to you. Therefore, you have to demand something from life in the future, in the right decision, and so on. So this has practical ramifications. It's not just some airy-fairy, mystical, woo-woo thing I'm speaking of. It's a new way of being. In some ways new, only to the ego self. But it's innate, it's natural, it's organic. There was a question that comes to mind on one of my public meetings a few months ago, which I don't think I answered very well, so I'm going to answer it now. Maybe whoever asked it is here. I don't think so. It was about something to do with the body, and it was about the aging process, and the medical advice, or whatever, the health advice was that she should do some weight-bearing exercises. But she had great resistance to that she had to do it in order to slow down the aging process, or to whatever. And she felt that as a command from the outside, so then she was applying that to herself. I should do this, I must do this, and so on. And she had great resistance. We didn't really unpack it very well at the time, but I think I said something along the lines of, well, anything that's a should is going to be counterproductive, not a top-down approach that you should, you have to, because otherwise you're going to die, you're going to get old, you're going to get weak, or whatever. This is fear-based. This is limiting. Yeah, it's a constriction. She took it as, oh, well, I don't have to do it then. I won't sort of let her off the hook. She breathed a sigh of relief. We sort of stopped there. But that's not the whole picture. The whole picture is go within before you do anything. Go within. Go deep. Not into, I have to do something to the body or with the body, but go in. And for a moment or a few moments, discover the space, the spaciousness that is here in presence. Not mindful of the body, not bringing attention to all the different sensations, but go in. The deeper you go, the more space there is, because you discover nothing. A textural field, maybe, you can call it tiredness or achiness or heaviness or whatever it might be, or agitation, or but if you go deeper, penetrate with awareness, You can't find a body. You can't find anything with a boundary. You can't find anything that has substance other than the idea that we bring to it. Wait. And move from there. Allow movement to take place from there. I don't know if they teach you this in yoga. Should do. But go inside. Let presence and spaciousness inform the movement. And it completely changes even something as seemingly uncomfortable or challenging as some weight-bearing exercise or anything. Yeah? Something shifts, something changes. There's a whole lightness to it. And we can bring this to everything, whether it's cooking or cleaning or, rather than seeing it something tedious, a chore, something I have to do, something I have to apply my effort to. Go in and see how it flows, and then everything becomes lighter, more pleasurable. Or not. It's almost like the pleasure or the displeasure is irrelevant. In fact, what it does, it becomes joyful. There's a certain joy in it. So then what is felt, what is experienced, whether it's a physical sensation, an emotion, doesn't stick to you. Yeah, it doesn't stick. It doesn't reach. It doesn't meet with a hard edge and then get stuck there. It's more likely to penetrate and dissolve. You become permeable, less sticky, and life becomes less sticky.